Hello everyone, my name is Jonah Reyes and I'm the Assistant Band Director at Enzer Middle School. This semester for online learning, our district has decided to create instrument-specific lessons. So along with your band director, I will be your horn teacher this year. I'm super excited to give you guys the tools and resources needed to become greater horn players. Before we begin, I need to make sure that we have all of the materials we need to be successful for these lessons. First things first, you need your horn with your mouthpiece, nice and oiled up so all the valves are moving correctly as they should. I also need us to have our own metronome. I will be playing a metronome while I'm recording myself doing these lessons, but for your own individual practice outside of watching the videos, you need to have your own metronome. Super, super important. And of course, I would love for you guys to have a pencil, writing down any specific tips and tricks that I give you. So just before we get started, I would like to try some breathing exercises. Remember, air is the one thing that we need as brass players to make beautiful, beautiful sounds. So if we're not breathing correctly, then we're not going to make the greatest sounds. So let's just do a quick breathing exercise. It'll be an in for 4, keeping our hand here for resistance, then an out for 4. I want us to do this 4 times. Remember, in for 4, out for 4. I recommend doing breathing exercises with a metronome. I'm going to put mine at 80. 80 is the perfect practice tempo. So let's go ahead and do that. 4 sets of in for 4, out for 4. Sitting up straight at the edge of our chairs and ready to go. And 1, 2, ready, and good. So make sure we're filling up from the bottom up. No shallow breathing here. I don't want all the air to stay up here. We need to feel like we're filling up from the bottom of our torso all the way to the top. So before we even start playing our horn, I wanted to address something that is a big, big deal with horn players, is emptying the water from our instruments. It's always good before any time you play to empty your water. So as soon as you get your horn out of the case every day, there could still be a little bit of condensation inside. So here's the best way to remove that. If you have an instrument like mine, similarly to a Con 8D, this is how you'd be emptying out your water. In the back, we have our main tuning slide, and then we have our F tuning slide. The main tuning slide is the one that goes first. So we get our horns. We're going to make a right turn, rest the horn on your thigh, take out your main tuning slide, and empty whatever is in there. Then, this slide in the front, you're going to take that out, empty whatever's in there. Then you guys, you're going to make a left turn back to our natural holding position. Then you're going to take out your F tuning slide and empty out whatever's in there. Now, the tricky one. A lot of us will get water stuck inside of these valves. The fastest way to get rid of that water is this way. So you guys are going to get your horn, and you're going to press on all these valves, even your trigger. Turn your horn over to the left, make a left turn. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your valves. Then, slowly make the right turn back. Now, whatever condensation was in these valves should be in the last 3. So you're going to pull those slides out. Remember pushing down its corresponding valve. Take that slide, press down your trigger, take out this slide. So most of that condensation should be in those 2 valves. So let's quickly talk about posture and hand position. When you play the horn, guys, we need to make sure that we are sitting up straight at the edge of our seats. Our left leg should be facing our music stand, and our right leg should be facing out at a 45-degree angle. From there, you will place your horn On your thigh, the beating of your horn of the bell should be parallel to the seams of your pants. Now, your lead pipe should be at a downward facing position, like so. It should not be like this, and you should not be playing into your body. Make sure you're playing out to the rest of the room. Now, about hand position. It is a super, super important part of horn playing. The best hand position I find is to have a kind of cupped hand, kind of like a parade princess wave, or if you're trying to cup some water. So you put your hand this way, no space between your fingers. Then you're going to insert your hand into the bell around here. So if our horn was a clock and this part was noon, your hand would be around the 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock area. So somewhere around here. Okay? And you're going to go ahead and put your hand in until your knuckles stop. And that'll help with our tuning and our tone production. So remember, sitting up straight, edge of our chair, good hand position, ready to play. So finally, on to today's lesson. We are going to do some lip slurs. Some of us may have done them, some of us may have not. To me, lip slurs are a super important exercise for any brass player. They help us with our tone and our flexibility around our instrument. It's super important to establish as a young player your flexibility and your tone. So the first one I'm going to have you guys do is going to be down here. It is going to be lip slur A. As you see, it will be starting on a first line E, slurring down to a C, then slurring back up to an E. You might notice the weird little thing on top of that last E. That is called a fermata, if we don't know what that is yet. What that means is we're going to hold the note out longer than it's worth. So if that last note's a half note, I'm going to hold it out for 4 beats instead of 2. So we're going to do a I play, you play kind of situation. So I'm going to play those 2 measures, hold that last E out for 4 beats. As soon as I'm done with that E, you're going to play. So go ahead and try that. Putting my meta 80. And 1, 2, 30. Great. Now, it's super important to remember that lip slurs are slurred. So between each note in the exercise, you're just using your air to change notes. There's no tonguing. Only the very first note, that is the only one you will tongue. So now we're going to continue with exercise A. But you're thinking, well, I already just finished it. It's only 2 measures long. Well, yes. But what I want us to do is, well, we are going to change our valve positions. So we're going to start open, no trigger, of course. Then we're going to 2. We're going to 1, 1 and 2, then 2 and 3. It's not important right now for you to know what notes you're playing exactly. It's just important to use our ears and keep the pattern going. So here's an example. Here's what is written on the page, the E, C, E. Now, I'm just going to press down second valve. Now, first valve. And I want us to do that. So let's do an I play, you play, and after each time, I'm going to be changing our valve combinations. We're going to end on 2 and 3. So be mindful of that. So we're going to go straight through. We're going to start with open, second, then first, 1 and 2, then finally 2 and 3. Don't worry, I'll put the valve combinations here on the corner of the screen, just so that we don't get lost. So let's try that. And I play, you play. good position and ready to go. Set. 1, 2, ready. Awesome. I hope that went well. If not, it's okay to rewind to the beginning of the exercise. Sorry, my metronome. If you feel like you need to try that again, go ahead and rewind to the back of the exercise. That's totally fine. So we're going to move on to some new exercises. So now that we've done letter A and we were absolutely stunning at it, we're going to move on to some other exercises. Next one is B. If you notice, it is starting a little bit higher on a G, but not by much. It's still a comfortable range for us. And we will be going down using the same valve combinations. If you get lost, I will continue to put the valve combinations as we go. So let's try exercise B. 1, 2, ready. Now it's time to put everything we did in exercise A and exercise B together and go on to exercise C. Now there's going to be 3 different notes in our lip slur. Let's go ahead and try that. Awesome. So, when you guys start to play lower, we need to make sure that we are dropping our jaw slightly. So we're not really doing anything too much with our embouchure. It's just really dropping the jaw slightly and moving our teeth forward. It is very, very slight. That is the key to low playing. Once you become a really good low horn player, your high range will greatly improve. So let's move on to exercise D. This one we're starting on a C below the stop, slurring down to a G. Again, same valve combination going down. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3. Great. Hopefully we were able to get down to those lower notes. If not, that's okay. I would go back to the beginning of this exercise and try it again. Keep trying and trying and trying. Breaking in a low register is kind of like breaking in new shoes. You just need to do it consistently. You basically need to walk in these shoes all the time. So you guys need to practice playing low. And once you practice it, it should come naturally. All right, so for you advanced guys, we're gonna go on to level E and F. E you can see below. So now we're gonna be going up now. The valve combination is now changing. So now we're gonna go from open to trigger 2, 3, trigger 1 and 2, trigger 1, trigger 2, and then just trigger. That is the new valve combination for these two exercises. Don't worry, I will continue to put the valve combinations just in case we get a little bit lost. Excuse me there. So now that we're going up, we're using faster air to get up to the higher notes. Don't freak out, if our range isn't there yet, that is fine. So try to follow along as best as we can. Again, I play, you play. So let's try letter E. 1, 2, 30. Awesome. So I hope that came very naturally for us because it's going to get a little bit more difficult when we go to exercise F. So now we're going to push our range a little bit more. We will be ending on the top F on top of the staff. Don't freak out. We're starting low, so we're going to progressively make our way up and up and up until our range is more comfortable. So now that we're done with exercise E, let's move on to exercise F down below. Same valve combination going up, starting on open, and I will keep putting the valve combinations up top. Now, with exercise F, if you notice there's a B flat in there, it isn't going to be a trigger 1 and big B flat, no. It's supposed to be a part of our lip slur. That note in particular on our instrument is going to sound really, really ugly. It's just naturally like that. It's the science of the harmonics of the instrument. So it sounds a little funky, but it's okay. That's supposed to happen. So as we get higher, guys, make sure that we stay calm, collected, cool, because if we tense and pinch up, then it's going to sound really, really not very nice. And the horn should sound open, gorgeous, and beautiful. One tip that I have for playing higher, guys, is if we get higher, we slightly close our hand a little bit, just very slightly. It helps focus the note and make it respond better. So let's go ahead and try exercise F. 1, 2, ready. Great. I hope we were successful on that last couple of sets. I hope the lip slurs were helpful and fun for you guys. We're starting a little bit slow to start the year off, but as we go, I'm going to introduce some newer, more advanced lip slurs for us. I hope that you guys learned something today and are better horn players coming out of it. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys soon.